This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Do you know what your kids are doing? Happily playing in the park? You are wrong.
Ah, children these days.
Next thing you know, they're using psychedelic substances that alter perception and cognition. It can even lead to hallucinations.
Now, so far, are these visual things the only effects you find?
No.
What other effects?
It's all to do with colour. It's all to do with round, with shape. Everything's colour. Everything, you know, is... Oh, it must be to do with orange. Not only with orange, but, oh. I haven't seen colour. I live in a monochromatic world. I can't use colour. I can do everything.
Some of these are psilocybin mushrooms, also known as magic shrooms, ingested in order to trip. Also, there is mescaline, which comes from the peyote cactus. It is also ingested. Both of these drugs' effects are similar. It affects senses, distorting the world the user sees. Another one of these psychedelic drugs is LSD. Its effects are similar to other psychedelics, but a lot stronger. Where does all this nonsense come from? Albert Hoffman discovered the effects of LSD. He said it could be used as a powerful psychiatric tool because of its intense introspective nature. During the 50s and early 60s, it was mostly used by university students. They would take it as part of their education. Timothy Leary would make tests on people suffering from minor personality disorders and anonymous alcoholics. But then, psychiatrists began taking it recreationally with friends. Timothy Leary would make experiments on himself and Harvard graduate students. Eventually, students heard about it and they wanted to try it too. But then parents complained. He was dismissed in 1963. He was arrested in 1972 for throwing LSD parties. Nixon would call him the most dangerous man in America.
On the space colony, we were attempting to create a new paganism and a new dedication to life as art.
At this time, two point of views on psychedelic drugs coexisted, a more conservative one and a more radical one, in which Timothy Leary participated. The conservative ones thought LSD was too powerful, that it should be restricted to elite members of the society. The more radical ones thought LSD had the power to revolutionize society, and that it should be spread as widely as possible. And that group became popular because of important personalities such as Leary, Jimi Hendrix, Grateful Dead, Pink Floyd, and the Beatles.
Another guy who helped acid become mainstream is Ken Kesey. I met him on Further in 1964.
Us, the merry pranksters, were on a cross-country road trip to confront the banality of American society with hallucinogenic-inspired spontaneity. On the bus, there were people of the Beat generation, like Jack Kerouac.
Ken's first encounter with acid happened during the MKUltra project. The U.S. government was testing the effect of LSD on the human brain.
This event inspired him for writing his book, A Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
He liked the effect of the drug, so he decided to keep on experimenting on his own, and to give LSD to anyone who was willing to try it.
This amazing experience is described in the book The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test by Tom Wolfe.
When we came back to Cali, we began the acid test.
There were parties involving music, black lights, fluorescent paint, strobes, and other psychedelic effects, and of course LSD and as much people as possible.
Hyde-Ashbury is a district in San Francisco. It's around the intersection of Hyde and Ashbury Street. In the 50s, Beat Generation members came here because the rent were low. By the mid-60s, there was a rise of a drug culture and a rock and roll movement. In 1967, when schools let out for the summer, students joined the movement. The massive media coverage made it even more popular than it was. It was called the Summer of Love. But quickly, the neighborhood became overcrowded. Drug problems, homelessness, and crimes became an important issue. And because of it, in October, the hippies declared the death of the hippie.
We wanted to signal that this was the end of it. Don't come out. Stay where you are. Don't come here because it's over and done with.
But always remember,
This is the brain activity of a normal 14-year-old. This is the brain activity of a 14-year-old after smoking marijuana. If you use pot, you're not using your brain.
But sir, without psychedelic drugs, the 60s just wouldn't be the 60s. They influenced every aspect of society. Music, the way of seeing life. Hippies wanted to change the world because they knew a better world was possible.
you're talking rubbish, kid.
Well, think about it. Without drugs, people would never have believed in this utopia of peace and harmony. They would never have fought as they did for what they believed in, because they would never have thought it was possible. A great part of the 60s legacy is tightly related to the drug subculture.
I know you're right, but let's talk about it later.
I've lost everything to you. You say you wanna start something new, and it's breaking my heart.